Okay, we are now back. I went ahead and took the liberty and put the yarn on my hook by simply doing a slip knot. Okay, after we do that, we'll go ahead and we'll do a chain 4. And we will do a slip stitch into the first chain. Okay, you just created your magic circle. We'll then go ahead and try to open up the circle a little bit. And in each of the following steps that we're about to do, it's going to be a cluster of double crochet. We'll do 3 double crochets, and then we'll do a chain 2 once we get the 3 double crochets done. Okay, chain 2. We'll do another set of 3 double crochets into that same circle. We'll do a chain 2. We'll do another set of 3 double crochets. Oops, 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 oops. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for those of you that are learning how to do crocheting. Okay, we're going to do another set of 2 chains. And now we're going to do another set of 3 double crochets. You simply yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over again, pull it through the first 2, yarn over, pull it through the second 2. That is your double crochet. As you can see here, I'm struggling a little bit with the yarn. For some reason, that little extra piece of yarn wants to keep getting in my way. I just simply tucked it in the back instead of keep fooling with it. Okay, go ahead and do 2 more chains. And now in that first double crochet, you go ahead and at the top, you do a slip stitch. Okay, here in a second we will go on to the next step. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll do a chain 3. That'll be your first double crochet. That's what it'll be counted as. Okay, we'll go ahead and proceed and do 2 more in that little opening in between, which is the chain 2. We'll do 2 more double crochets. Now we'll do a chain 2. Now we're going to skip over that cluster that you see right here and go into this next chain 2 area. Simply go and yarn over and going and doing a cluster of 3 double crochets and chain 2, and then another set of 3 double crochets. There's the chain 2, and now we're going to put in that same area 3 more double crochets. So basically you'll have a set, 2 sets of 3 double crochets, which total of 6 double crochets that you will have to go in that one corner. Okay, next we'll do 2 chains. Now we're going to skip over that cluster again and go into that corner right here where the chain 2 area is and do another set, actually 2 sets of chain 3, or 3 double crochets. Chain 2 chains, and now 3 more double crochets in that same corner. Do chain 2, skip over into that next corner and do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. Okay, now in our last little area that we're going to do here in about 1 second, we're only going to be doing a set of 3 because in the very beginning, if you remember, we did a chain 3 and then we did 2 double crochets in that corner. Alright, make sure you do the chain 2. Now as you can see here, there's 3 already here, so all we got to do is the 3 double crochets and a chain 1. Into that first double crochet. Now as you can see here, it is more rounded. All you got to do is just simply straighten it out a little bit and it'll be more of a square. What it is the tension. The tension that you apply to crocheting, and that's unfortunately my dilemma that I have a lot because I like to crochet tight. I want to make sure whatever I make is going to stay. That's what I got in my mind. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do a chain 3. Now I'm going to do like how we did in the previous round by doing only 3 double crochets in this corner. Now remember that chain 3 is considered your first double crochet. Now it's chain 2, now what's going to be different is that now we're going to go in between the 2 corners. This little gap right here you see, you're going to go in there and only do 3 double crochets in there. Oops. Okay, we'll do another chain 2. And we'll go into that next corner. That's in between the 2 clusters of 3 double crochets, right there in that hole, the chain 2 area. We'll do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. Chain 2, and we'll go in this little chain 2 area here. and do a cluster of 3 double crochets. Okay, next we'll do chain 2, and then in this corner right here in between where the chain 2 area is, we'll do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Oops. We'll do chain 2, go into this next chain 2 area and do 3 double crochets. Then we will do chain 2 and go into this corner right here and do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Okay, we'll do a chain 2, and then in this chain 2 area we'll go ahead and do 3 double crochets in that. Okay, now we're at the corner. We'll do chain 2, now down here in this corner we're only going to do the 3 double crochets like how we did in the previous row to end it. Be sure to do that chain 1 in between and go into the top of the first double crochet. Okay, there you have it. This is our first granny square. However, this right here measures 4 by 4. I took the liberty and went ahead and did that measurement before we did this video, so this way you can know the size square. If you're wanting to continue in making it bigger, that's entirely up to you. Just make sure that when you go into each of the chain 2 areas in between the corners, you add only 3 clusters of 3 double crochets and chain 2. And when you get to the corners, you do a total of 6. 2 sets of 3 double crochets. Or you can do the continuous square, however you like to do it. Okay, we'll just go ahead and now we'll cut a piece and we'll go ahead and weave in the ends, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, we went ahead and put the chocolate brown, that's what that was, onto the hook with a slip knot. And we'll go ahead and do a chain 2. Right now we're about to create the sunflower that's on the actual piece, as you can see here. Personally, I did the petals separate, so if you are more advanced and you're able to do them together, that's entirely up to you. We're going to go into the first chain, and we're going to do a total of, oops, excuse me, hang on one second. Sorry, I had a little issue to take care of for a moment, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do 6 half double crochets into the second chain. Now those of you that aren't familiar with the half double crochet, you just put a yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. That's your basic half double crochet. Okay, anytime you do a chain 2, it's a little bit tight. So as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit. All you do is just work with it. Just be sure that you go in that same hole. Now I got 2 more to go. Okay, once you do that, you will then go ahead and attach to the first half double crochet that you did by simply doing a slip knot. And do a chain 1. Now you will do 2 single crochets in each of the stitches. Oops. Okay, we're on our final 2. Just simply do a slip stitch into the first single crochet. I do another because I like to make double sure that it's in there secure. Okay, and I just simply cut a length enough piece so you can be able to hand sew it in. I tied it securely. Okay, just simply hand sew it in. No rhyme or reason, just so it's in there securely. Go ahead and make sure you cut your ends. Sometimes I leave this back piece on, sometimes I don't, because you're going to be putting it on something, so it's not like you're going to really see it. But for this illustration, I went ahead and cut it. Okay, now we're going to work on the petals. Now the petals are really fun. They can be a little tedious, but at the same token, they are a little fun. We're going to take our gold, and all we're going to simply do is do a slip knot onto the hook, of course. And we're going to do a chain 4. Okay, once you get your chain 4 done, you're going to turn around and go back down the chain by going into the third one at first and doing a slip stitch, which is just basically inserting your hook, pulling it through again. And in that next chain, we'll go ahead and do a single crochet, which is pulling it through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. In that third chain, or our last one, excuse me, is another slip stitch, pulling it through again. Okay, now we're going to finish it off by doing a chain 1. We're going to turn our work, or actually we're going to go on the other side by doing a repetitive as what we just did, slip stitch by pulling through, single crochet in the next, and then a slip stitch in that last one. and a chain 1. Okay, as you can see here is a nice little petal. Make sure you leave enough yarn on the end, so this way you're able to hand sew it in. And we're going to do a total of 12 of those. 12 altogether. Okay, once we get those 12 done, I will go ahead and be right back. Okay, here in a minute I'm going to show you how to apply it to the actual centerpiece of the flower, how to place the petals going around it. So I found that within trial and error that it made it look better by doing it this way, so hopefully it works out for you also. I tell you, it don't take long, but time just flies by quickly. Unfortunately, we are almost in the summertime season, so that's what I thought about doing a sunflower granny square, because that's one of my favorite seasons. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll start showing you how to do the petals going around the flower. Just simply get your yarn needle and of course attach it so we can hand sew it in. These little extra pieces that are here on the end, we'll not worry about them right this minute. The way I did it was I placed it on the actual brown piece itself, and then I just sewed the two together right down here at the end. I simply did it 3 different times, making sure that both pieces are there together. I don't like to show where I sew in because of simply the fact that it just looks better when you don't have all that extra yarn showing. Make sure you do a knot to help secure it in. Now see, I'll show you. I know it's kind of rough at this moment. Take our next piece, and what I simply did is I skipped a little bit of a space. Try to figure out where exactly you think your 6 pieces that go around, if you was to do it evenly all the way around the thing itself. Just did a little bit of a space. Not much, just enough to go in between, because you're going to stick another petal there. Now if you don't mind, I would really appreciate it, because this is going to be a YouTube video. I would appreciate it if you was to subscribe to my channel, and of course write any comments down below that you feel that this video needs to be adjusted, whether it's not clear enough or loud enough or there's too much noise in the background. Any comments would be appreciative. This way it helps me out to figure out, you know, if I need to adjust things. Because I simply don't have enough room in the place that I'm living in to have my own private, quiet studio. So unfortunately I'm outside a lot doing my videos. Okay, again, be sure to lie it against the piece itself, and then of course hand sew it in. Okay, this next part I'm going to show you is where I'm going to be placing them in between. This way you can see how it fills it up. I know you probably could do it a little bit better by just doing them side by side, but I've found that it just seemed to work better for me, and hopefully it'll work better for you by separating and only doing 6 and then turn around and do the last 6. Now see, I did 4 that time because it just worked out that way. Okay, it's starting to come into shape. Of course, minus the little extra strings. Okay, here's where I was going to show you. I just go in between and do the same thing. Stick them in between. Being sure that I lay it flat on the actual body of the flower. Simply sew in 3 different times. So you can do 4, don't matter. As long as you secure it in there good, that's all that matters. Alright, now as you can see here, see how it looks good? It's got a little space in between each, and it just worked out better. Alright, well, thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Alright, bye-bye.